This is the end. Yeah.
By the way, in the last 30 minutes of the show today, I'm going to go through the Chris Matthews hit piece because this is a new level in demonization and propaganda of Rand Paul, myself, and others. I may even have to go into overdrive at the end of the show just for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers and Internet Infowars.com listeners because that information is so important. But we'll probably have time to cover it during regular broadcast time, the last 30 minutes after Gerald Celente leaves us. Before we go back to Gerald Celente and his incredibly valuable crystal ball level analysis, we need your support. I know the economy's falling apart, and we're trying to expand here. We're getting millions and millions of visitors a week, millions of listeners a week just on the Internet. I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's very costly bandwidth-wise. And my crew, the engineers, the webmasters, the writers, the news websites, the films I'm making, the radio show, we're self-funded through radio sponsorship and through the sales of books, videos, and T-shirts and ball caps. And everything we do is about getting the word out. When you wear an Infowars.com shirt, you're advertising liberty and freedom. When you wear a Don't Tread on Me shirt, you're advertising liberty and freedom, and you're supporting us, buying a $9 T-shirt, we make like $4. When you buy a Don't Tread on Me film, you get a great documentary about states' rights, and you support us. When you get Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA, you'll get a film that can wake people up about the police state takeover and how illegal it is. When you get a film like Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, you'll understand the Bilderberg Group and what their master plan is. Same thing with Invisible Empire, Fall of the Republic, Camp FEMA, all available at Infowars.com, or you can see them all in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv and watch the live radio show, another added level, another dimension of information warfare against the globalist. So please order the videos because they wake people up, and secondarily, it also supports our operation. Infowars.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Also, we've got InfowarsShop.com. InfowarsShop.com is a new shopping cart we just launched. We still have our Yahoo cart. And we're going to be launching a couple other shopping carts in the future, so you have more choices of different ways to shop on different platforms. And we couldn't have done it without you. I mean, when I set out 15 years ago to do a radio show and a local TV show, I never intended to be as successful as I am. But it's the message of how successful other activists and other patriots can be that is so vital. So, again, Infowars.com, or you can simply write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas, 78760. And order the books, videos, and materials. And if you want to order by mail, you can also call the toll-free number and ask questions about different specials and combos. Some of the films are as low as $4.95 a piece, like Loose Change Final Cut. Okay, enough of me here ranting about the documentaries. Let's go back to Gerald Celente. But speaking of solutions, I think evergreen is the name of the game in really convincing people. When somebody sees a film I made like Road to Tyranny 8 years ago and everything in it came true, I found my older films are even more effective than my new ones sometimes because people can go, this guy, how did he know this 8 years ago? Or they can watch my first film made 13 years ago, America Destroyed by Design, and they say, how did this guy know this? It's the same thing with the Trends Journal. It's great to get the latest Trends Journal, which is important to get on how they're trying to start a war and how they're going to totally implode the economy soon. But it's also good to get back journals. So tell folks how they get a subscription to the latest journal, but how do they get back journals so they can really get an understanding of how important your view of the world is, Gerald Celente?
Well, our website, they could go to trendsjournal.com and just request the back Trends journals, and we send them to you. It's as simple as that.
Awesome. What are some
Once you subscribe.
What are some key journals from the past that you would recommend for people to order?
Well, one of them, in 2004, I came out and said that in 2007, we would enter, quote, the Great Recession. So we saw it back then. And we also saw back in 2001, we knew that gold prices would go to record highs, and we called the bottom at $275 an ounce. It's very simple to see. And it was by knowing that they would begin to lower interest rates to 46-year lows. So you can't keep printing this digital money, not worth the paper it's not printed on, without ruining the economy. And the other ones, of course, we forecast terrorism. back in my book, Trends 2000, back in 1997. You could see these trends coming, but they want to live in denial, Alex, but not anymore. More and more people want the truth. They want the facts. The motto, by the way, of the Trends Research Institute is think for yourself. I don't tell people what to believe, and nobody tells me what to believe.
And that was your dad that taught you think for yourself. I mean, my father, he almost gave me the same statements about don't be a parrot, think for yourself. There's an agenda in the media. Our government's supposed to be small. Historically, governments are destructive. Now, that's seen as extremist by Chris Matthews, but that's Thomas Jefferson. That's authentic American. Don't get into debt, work hard, only trust your family, always stick up for your family. That is demonized today, but that's what made this country great.
I mean, who is Chris Matthews? What has this guy ever done? Was he a PR guy for a congressman or a senator or something?
Yeah.
Before this? I mean, they're nothing. Tim Russett, everybody used to bow down to him. Another PR flack. That's all they are. They're all yes men. There's not a man among them. They all work in the Washington Beltway circle jerk. None of them stands up and stands out. Even this guy, Bill Mayer, who, he's a wise guy, this or that. I remember when he retracted his statement when he said the one thing you couldn't call the terrorists on 9/11 were cowards. They're cowards. The paycheck comes first. There's not a man among them. There's not a man in the White House. There never has been in my lifetime other than Eisenhower.
Well, I want to get into the war and when you see the economy imploding in more detail, and that's in the current Trends Forecast Journal. But before we do that, we were talking during the break about how Chris Matthews on a best night has 500,000 viewers and how medium-sized syndicated shows like this one have millions, several million conservatively, about 1 million more each week on the internet, about 3 million total. Chris Matthews is a legend in his own mind, but because there's a teleprompter, because there's a fancy suit, because there's a bunch of reporters, still some people watching it think it has all this gravitas and authority, but that illusion is now dying. But Chris Matthews and others still think their propaganda's working, and that's a big deal that whoever they attack suddenly goes up in the polls. I mean, don't these delusional monkeys get and understand that their free ride, lying to people and bamboozling and scamming and hoodwinking is coming to an end?
Not until they get fired and the ratings keep slipping. Look what's happened to CNN. You know, I've just come up with a new pledge. I'm not going on any more of these shows anymore. I'm very selective. And if any of them want to do it, they could come over to my place and they could interview me. And they're not going to edit it. We're going to do it live because I know the game. I've been around a long time. When you're in charge of the controls, like they are, you can make it look like anything. So why should I give my valuable time up to them? What have they ever accomplished? What have they ever done? They're broadcast blowhards and suck-ups to the political system. So why should I go on their shows? To boost their ratings?
Well, yeah, that's the headlines.
Going down?
CNN has lost more than half its viewers in 1 year. They lost half their viewers the year before that. I mean, they're going to be down to 50,000 viewers on their lowest show, 200,000 on their biggest, if the trend continues in 6 months, according to the Associated Press. Their top show, Larry King, has 1 million. By the way, it's going to be a hot show tonight. I talked to Ventura a few days ago, and I can now talk about it. He's been on there with Oliver Stone talking about New World Order. So now they're forced to let Ventura and Stone on, who will actually talk about real issues, desperately to keep any viewers. So that's actually smart of Larry King.